stable enough.
We will have time for a proper reconciliation and further intricate explanation once we've patched up the situation. Why is she rhyming? Young Edward.
It's paused now. So I will. There we go. Right, we're tied again. I will catch up and chat after I've won, obviously. After I've won. This is really well done, though. This is.
From now on, my vision won't be clouded by these senseless prejudices any longer.
Something tells me Emmy's not as good at getting into character as she claims to be.
I love the fact that the dialogue changes, like, in this way.
Right. Hello everyone. A week ago, I published the demo of my first commercial game on Steam, Thornetica. If you've been following me in social media, you'll know that for the last month, I've not shut up about this game. The lead up to release was absolutely crazy. Throughout February I kept adding stuff, polishing stuff and making builds that I would swear were the final build, only to realize I'd made some mistake or overlooked something, or there was still more stuff to do and go back to it the next day. By the middle of March I was actually content with what we've managed to package. We finally replaced a lot of the placeholder assets, we finished implementing the dialogue variations for every single character in every single role through Acts 1 to 3, and overall added a lot of UX improvements, bug fixing, menu polishing. So after finishing that final build, you'd think I want to publish it right away and not waste a single second. After all, I'd been months saying, trust me guys, I'm publishing a demo soon, everybody look out. So I just really wanted to get it out finally, as quickly as possible. I managed to refrain myself, I managed to contain my most impulsive desires, which is not something I usually do, and thought, let me sit on this for a few days, weeks, let me make actually some preparations in actually getting some people to play this, now that it is in a pretty solid, finished, polished state. Luckily I did that, and yeah, for the next 2 weeks I basically worked on publishing stuff on social media and sending emails. I sent over 60 emails to streamers, YouTubers and press, trying to get them to cover the demo. So how'd that go? That was a huge experience in and of itself. I felt like a fish out of water. I'm a very social media averse person. I've barely ever used Twitch before, and having to reach out to some creators through there was like a learning experience. All of it was just like a learning experience. After 21 years of my life, I finally understand how the karma system in Reddit works. That's where it got to. So yeah, most of the emails I sent didn't get a reply. Some politely declined or asked us to pay for a sponsorship, which a company funded by an unemployed college student cannot pay for that. But I appreciate them replying anyway. And of course, at the end of the day, we're all just trying to survive here. I mean, it makes sense. Some people's prices were kind of unreasonable for what they offer and what I see the results they get, so maybe some people need a bit of a wake-up call, but if it works well for them, hey, we're all just trying to make business and make a living out of what we do at the end of the day, so it's fair. I'm not entitled to anyone's platform, and those who did give me the time of day, those who covered Thornetica's demo, we got a few streamers that streamed it. I'm so thankful. I cannot express, I really want to give a heartfelt thank you to you all in regards of the entire team. I'll be linking the channels of each of these awesome folks in the description. Yeah, seriously, go check it out, go check their Thornetica streams, go check their awesome RPG content. It was a truly unreal experience to see someone play my game on stream for so long, some of them up to 3 hours. I did not know. I've made games before, but like I've had people play my silly little game jam games before, but I haven't sat down and saw someone play a game that I'd made for 3 hours. And of course it meant so much for me because Thornetica is bigger and more closer to my heart than anything else I've ever made. Other than that, when it comes to the press, Indie Games Hub published our trailer, a version of the trailer that I sent to them that definitely was spell checked and definitely does not contain a big fat typo in the middle of the trailer that thousands of people saw. Yeah, that actually did a lot of work for us. It got a bunch of views, and those views translated into positive comments and some wish lists that we got. We'd been in a huge drought period, basically from not posting anything and not giving out any signals of being alive for the past few months. I'd just been like quietly working on this in my closet, basically. So with this trailer that they published and also the social media advertisement I started to do and stuff like that, we went from 160 wishlist to around 350 in just a couple of days, and that was really motivating. Though, just like the Steam graphs, I was going through a bit of a like up and down roller coaster of emotions, right? Because it was like, oh, this is going so good, but then I know it's inevitable that a peak drops. That's kind of how Steam works. And all these social media platforms, like the algorithms and stuff, like the videos just get views for like the first couple of days and then they're just kind of done. So going into the release, I did not expect that there'd be that much excitement for it, because we more or less managed to keep some level of interest and more wish lists after the demo, but it was declining fast. But somehow the game actually started popping off quite well with the release. We made another huge peak, not quite as high as the Indie Games Hub, but a bit wider, and that actually got us all the way to 500 wishlists, which is not an insane amount. It's not gonna make us rich or anything. It just means that 500 people have expressed some interest in wanting to buy our game in the future. But it means a lot. It means a heck of a lot for someone who like spent so much time doubting themselves every day if what they were building was good and if anyone was actually gonna care at all. The fact that 500 people have cared to some extent is already amazing, and it's been motivating me a lot to keep forward. But that's enough talk about the numbers. I'm not really a number-oriented person anyways, and it's not at all the reason I wanted to make this game. I think it's more interesting to talk about how the game was received and what I can learn from this experience moving forward. Overall, it went pretty well. I mostly contacted like FireEmblem RPG and Persona streamers. The game is mainly catered to Fire Emblem Persona players, aka me. So we're kind of this like weird niche group of people with very specific gameplay requirements and interests. So yeah, people in that community and that like that kind of game really seem to get into it, and they praise the novel concept of the theater casting and all of that. And yeah, overall, as I said, the streams were absolutely amazing. When it came to the launch on Discord, we got some more harsh criticism, which is highly appreciated, I would say, and very understandable as well. I know games are such a polished art form, where, especially nowadays, you compare it to everything else that's on the market, and obviously teams with a lot more people. Thornetica is just programmed by me and half done by me, really, in terms of all the writing, and English is not my first language, though I consider it basically, so it's not much of an excuse. But yeah, we got a lot of more harsher critics, valid points. It's all I'm gonna say. The gameplay is kind of basic for the first 3 acts. Some of the menus are a bit janky. There were an inexcusable amount of typos and punctuation errors that should have been patched on release, but someone forgot to update the CSVs. That's been patched up now. As I said, I'm supposed to be on a break, but not truly on a break. But yeah, still, even our hardest critics have found some enjoyment or something to love about Thornetica. And that's all I need to keep myself motivated in resuming the development at the end of the day. So, let's talk about the elephant in the room, about resuming development. How are things going to move forward from now on? Well, I've been taking a bit of a break ever since releasing the game. I mean, as I said, not fully, but I'll probably be on standby for another week or so, maybe 2. I need to recover from how mentally exhausting the release of the demo was, and yeah, just more than that, it's also that like these university assignments are really gonna kick my ass, because I've been like locked in making the demo and doing all the publishing stuff for the past few weeks, and deadlines are closing in. Yeah, I've got to wrap those up before I can continue on Thornetica, but after that's taken care of, yeah, and some of my colleagues are already like keeping up at it, adding new levels. I think for myself, I'll take another shot at the backstage, improving some stuff. There's a new mini game I want to add. I want to tweak some stuff and actually explain the social points system and fully integrate it, so we can have ranks up and support conversations and all of that. And yeah, I also started toying with animations for the backstage. I was toying around with this software called PixelArt, really cool indie animation software where you can make some rigs of 2D characters, and I think that's going to be really nice in providing a more time-effective way of animating the characters, so they can maybe move around during the dialogue, or maybe also start working on those combat animations that a lot of people have been asking for. That'd be really fun. Honestly, I want to get those uni assignments done so I can get back to that. However, the issue I've been pondering most about on how to proceed moving forward is not actually quite about the game, but about this whole social media, YouTube, advertisement sort of thing. When people who have been following me for some time will remember that when I started development of this game, I was quite motivated to start doing devlogs and sharing my experiences and visions right from the very beginning. From the moment I started writing the GDD of the game, I was like, okay, gotta tell people, gotta put it out there. Those videos didn't particularly do super well. I also went into the direction of like a flamboyant showman comedy nerd, and though that is definitely an authentic part of who I am, it was a bit forced, and more importantly, it took a lot out of me. Those videos took a long while to write the script for, they took a long while to edit. I thought if I just like schedule my time better, I'd pull it off, because at the end of the day, it was like, back then it was summer, I had no school, I did have a part-time job for a bit, but it seemed like I had so much time. It really wasn't the case in the end, because when you're doing a project as big as Thornetica, it's like you want to actually put as much time into it as possible, because if not, you feel like you're not really progressing, and the project really benefits on you being basically 100% concentrated on that, which is never an option, because you're always going to have other responsibilities in your life. But I do want to allocate as much time as possible to Thornetica. Nonetheless, I see the value on keeping people updated and maybe make more casual vaguely scripted, but a bit of script. Basically what I'm doing right now, these kinds of videos, more oriented into showcasing the development of the game and how are things going. Yeah, without needing to spend so much development time on writing jokes and delivering a spectacle. I'll keep posting shorts on social media and updates and announcements on Twitter and Blue Sky, so follow me there if you want to stay up to date, and consider also joining our community Discord to chat with me about upcoming stuff when it comes to Thornetica or games in general. And yeah, apart from me, the rest of the dev team hangs around there. You can meet a lot of other cool people, and yeah, that's, I think, all I wanted to get off my chest when it comes to how the launch of the demo's been. Thank you so much for giving me the motivation to keep going with my game. It's been an awesome journey thus far.